Hi there, welcome. Welcome to Homekeepers. Come right on in, my friends. So glad to be with you today. Hope things are going well in your life and your family and your home. And just glad to connect with you and appreciate it so much. We have a really wonderful topic today. I think it's so interesting because the feedback I get from you good people out there, I would say 7 out of 10 include this kind of remark: you have the best guests and such a variety. And when I looked at this, in fact, Robin Lenart had been on the show way over 12 years ago. And now I've lived through what she was talking about. And it's so wonderful the way God gifts people with things we would never, ever think about. And she has devised a plan and a business to help the caregiver. Now, this is becoming a bigger thing every single year and decade because Americans are living longer. My mom lived to be 100. When she was about 96, I had to place her in an assisted living place, which was very nice. It was a religious place, and they took good care of her. The last few months, the only option was a nursing home. And you find out how ignorant you are about such things. But this lady, Robin, has made a career of it and shown you how to especially help, not the hands-on thing so much, but to keep their dignity and keep them from being so embarrassed. It's very important subject. So I'm anxious for you to meet her. And I'm going to join Stephanie to make Parmesan bread. We've mentioned before that sometimes when you have company, it's the side dish they always remember. You could have had a standing rib roast, but they remember what you did with the vegetable or the bread. I think this is that kind of a dish. But before I join her, I again want to offer you the Basic Steps of Bible Study by Kay Arthur. Any of you gals who have been in Bible studies and are aware of some really major female speakers in the evangelical movement, you know who Kay Arthur is. And this could help you so much in your Christian life. I urge you to order it. You can call 1-800-229-0059 or write at Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida, 33758. And it's for any amount. Any gift that you give to this program will go right into the production costs. And we want to thank you in advance. But I can also tell you that this can be a great boost to your Christian life if you're interested in that boost, and I think most people are, thank God. So hope you'll order it, and I'm here with Stephanie.
This is, like you said, this is just one of those recipes. Earlier, this really popped loud, so I'm trying to, it's one of those recipes. Instead of just throwing biscuits on the table. Yeah. See, that was it.
It sounds like a gun going off.
Instead of throwing biscuits
Are you okay?
Yes, on the table, you make something yummy like this. So it's a little bit different. So you have, I went heavy. I always go heavy on the spices because it's, you want it up.
I'm with you.
So we did a little extra cheese, but it's supposed to be a half a cup.
Parmesan grated.
Yep, and then Italian seasonings, a teaspoon. I went a little bit more. And then 3 cloves of garlic that you minced up.
She's my kind of cook.
Yes. And then I have butter that's melted. You're supposed to put it in the pan and put it in the oven and melt it, but we have to be faster than that. So I'm just putting a half a stick of melted butter in the bottom of the pan.
If this is good, I'm telling you ladies, this is a winner.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can already tell. The smell is delicious. Okay, so you quarter the biscuits.
And I'm mixing those 3 ingredients together.
Yep, the cheese, the Italian seasoning, and the garlic. Garlic, I mean, that's all you really need, right? So good.
Yep.
Okay, I'm quartering, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the bowl. If you would do that for me and get a paper towel and just mix it around.
Just a little, okay.
The recipe doesn't, right here. Nope, right here.
Oh,
just
you
pour
already
it
got
in.
one? Oh.
Just pour it in here.
Just jiggle it around?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the recipe doesn't call for this, but it's going to keep this, the biscuits from sticking to the sides when I,
That enough?
more, yeah,
Okay.
more than enough.
What do you jiggle around with? Just fork?
Or a paper towel. Yeah.
Okay, I'll get a paper towel. She has to tell me what to do.
Or a fork.
We improvise. We are so professional.
Yes.
We can improvise.
Yes. So again, the recipe doesn't call for this, but it's gonna. I don't want the
It's
biscuits.
easier to move around, right?
Yes, I don't want the biscuits to stick while I'm.
Yeah, because these things have no moisture.
Yes. Right, and the biscuits were out for a little while, so they're kind of sticky and not nice and cold. We're almost there. You're gonna.
Do you want to put this in here?
Let me put the biscuits in first, please.
Shall I put them in?
Sure. I put the melted butter in the pan. It cooks at, what, 350 for 20 to 22 minutes, so super simple.
Everybody's oven is a little different. These took a little bit longer.
Okay.
But you want them to be a golden brown on the top.
Yeah, and you can add all kinds of flavorings. I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to do
this is just
different
the basic
cheeses,
idea.
different seasonings. Okay, I'm going to use my hands for this.
Okay.
Because it's easier. Mix this in. And that's why the oil, see, so the biscuit's not sticking to the sides. So, and then I'm going to put it in the pan and bake it 350, 20 to 22 minutes, but I have to flip that other one out, so. So, I'm doing everything today, Arthelene.
Well, you're so capable, that's why.
Let me get the plate.
We made a deal, because if I turned it over, it would be a disaster.
Well, I make no promises, so let's see. Okay. Okay, we're okay. Okay, are you ready?
Ready?
Here we go. Oh, it worked. It doesn't always work. Look, I would even put more butter over the top of
I
that.
would too. Or when it comes out, just a
Yes,
little
I would
melted.
put a little bit more, but let's go ahead and taste it. And it's like monkey bread. You know how you have the pull-apart bread?
Your guests will remember that.
It just ups the game.
When they forget the standing
I would
roast.
definitely put more butter and garlic over the top. But it's delicious
absolutely
and
delicious.
super easy and beautiful. Like, hello, biscuits or this beautiful thing. Yeah.
What about just a tiny, tiny sprinkle of garlic salt?
Sure. Yeah, more garlic, more butter. Yeah.
You're going to love it. We call
good.
it Parmesan bread. And the information's coming up on your screen. We'll get it out to you. You choose the way you want it. That's information is also coming. And after that, you're going to meet my guest, and we're going to talk about something that really anybody from any age can begin to think about. So stay with us.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
All right, I want to welcome Robert Lenart back, and it's been a long time. You had just kind of started thinking this way, hadn't you, back then?
Yes. That was the beginning when right after I got this vision. You know, I was frustrated. My dad needed help, and let me tell you, I was so glad he didn't have me on. You know, my husband.
That's a whole other issue.
Oh yes.
With the
opposite
different
gender.
sex, opposite gender.
Tough. But I worried about my mom, and I did a lot of praying. I didn't like that area of having to invade that personal space. You know, to me, it just didn't seem right. I wouldn't want somebody. Well, I know when I was in the hospital, I wouldn't like that.
I think the Lord got you on this, and I'm so glad to get the word out, because this is something that most people will deal with. You'll either be the one needing the care, or you'll be the caregiver. I was mentioning that my mom lived to be 100.
Oh, wow.
This book is called Yikes, I Need to Give Mom a Bath. What a great title. Because it is
Yikes indeed.
And I noticed my mom, who had been real fastidious, was a little careless. So I find she's having a hard time getting out of her tub. And she lived next door to me, so it was very convenient. So I said, Mom, I'm going to help you get out. So we did that a while, and then I couldn't lift her out. She could. So the next thing I did, I think this is ingenious. Maybe other people have thought of it, but I'm real proud of it. Yeah. I bought a plastic chair with arms like this, put it in my shower, and turned her loose. And that worked for a while.
Yes, ran into necessity. That's where, yeah.
And It's interesting. Like I said, she lived to be 100, and she'd begin to fight me a little bit on it.
Yeah.
And so I would always win, but when we were finished, she says, "Oh, that felt so good." And I thought, and you have put me through the ringer.
Yeah,
But
it's
get
tough
ready.
for
Yeah.
both caregiver and care recipient. I mean, we know our emotions, but imagine their emotions. I know for me, I would run away when I saw my friendly nurse coming with her basin and, and soap and things. I said, no, I'm fine, I could do it myself.
But we'll get to it later.
yeah.
We'll get that website up. You can get the book there, and also it can take you to items that she has invented, because I do believe this is God's idea.
He gave it to me.
And she will show you later in the program things that will greatly, greatly reduce their embarrassment and bring dignity back. I looked up, I think I looked up dignity, and it's, yes. This is what the dictionary says: nobility, majesty, gravity, solemnity, stateliness, worth, worthiness, excellence, honor. That's huge.
Doesn't that sound like something God would give us?
It's very godlike.
Yes.
And
It's
God
Him.
prompted you to create a simple garment to help with that.
Yes.
Okay, what
Yes.
has happened in the last 10 or 12 years since you and I have been together?
Well, now I'm the director of a nonprofit. And I started a business, and it seemed a lot easier if it would switch over. I think that there are a lot of causes that go that route, and I can get more attention, and I think it helped. Of course, our website did very well, and it allows me to write grants and to ask for help, and I can get the word out much easier. And there's nothing behind, I mean, if it's a product, say, and it's a business, it is a money-making thing, but not this organization. We want to educate, we want to offer the garments for those that need it, and we even have an arm of the organization that if you truly cannot afford, we do offer them, at a discount or free.
Well, that is wonderful, but let me just reiterate the fact that this is a blessing, because I've been through it and I had to figure it out. And I look back and think, could have been different, could have been so much better. And I have no idea that God has prompted you in these things because of His care for us for our entire life. And
Yes.
I urge you to get her book. So you can get all that on the website, and the book certainly on Amazon. Now, you designed what you call a personal care garment.
Yes, I call it the Honor Guard.
And it offers respectful covering while receiving assistance.
Oh,
Boy,
yes.
Girls, we've all been in the doctor's office when we wanted to die.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Covering.
Yeah. And
Think how Adam and Eve felt.
and
They
you
got
talk
covered.
about the bath dodger.
Oh, yes. We all inside are
and
bath
see,
dodgers.
my mom was.
Yeah, and why not? It's deep within our souls. We don't want to be exposed. God designed us to be covered.
He certainly did.
Yes. So a lot of us can really relate to running for the hills.
You talk a lot about embarrassment, and we've all been there when we wish the floor would open up and suck us down.
Yes, it's a curious emotion, isn't it? And funny that we always are in denial about it. We don't want to talk about embarrassment. Hey, we can be rugged, we can be brave, but let me tell you, we avoid it at all costs. But it's natural. I mean, I think it helps us in life, don't you? It keeps us on the straight and narrow. We don't want to be embarrassed.
A certain
We run
amount,
from
I'm
it.
sure, is good for us. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we've all experienced it in the doctor's office or
Right.
somewhere, and it is very, very real. So compound that to a person who has been independent, working,
Yes.
a lot of take charge people,
It can be frustrating.
and they can't do it anymore.
Yes.
What was it that you look way back just sparked that first little tiny idea?
Well, I think with my dad, being opposite gender, but when my mom started needing more help, I prayed hard. I said, what am I going to do? I don't want to go there. I don't want to have her feel like she's losing her dignity, and I don't want to be a part of it. I know that I was her caregiver, but I said, Lord, I need help. And he gave me a vision. I saw it in my mind. And do you know, right after that, after I saw that, I was so excited. I said, oh my gosh, what a great idea, something water-friendly that you can wear in the shower. And then all of a sudden, she needed me. So I went to her aid and I said, I got this. I grabbed a couple hand towels, I pinned them together. I said, I know what this is gonna be like. I put it on her. That's where the design came from. So she wore something that I made in a hurry. And do you know, that shower was pleasant. We joked through it. She wasn't embarrassed, and neither was I.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning.
Yeah.
Those simple little hand towels pinned together.
Okay, now she's improved that since the hand towel. I'm going to have her demonstrate a couple of these, and it gives a complete freedom to bathe and all, but still not be so embarrassed and not feel disgraced.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the new birthday suit. That's
The
what it
new
is.
birthday
What we call the honor guard. And it has a chest shield. And you see how it's lined with the sport mesh so it doesn't stick to you? Surfers wear this in their trunks.
So it doesn't stick to you.
No, you wear it right in the shower. But this is a chest shield, you see? And this...
Do you need to stand up?
Yes, let me do that,
Be
especially
easier?
for this, yeah. And this is the lower piece. You see how it has three flat panels? And you just put it on, and gravity holds it on, and you wear it right in the shower. Now, as far as taking your clothes off, you put this over your garments, so you don't have to disrobe. So look at the back, it's open. So the bras come off with ease. Arms are free. Off it comes, look at that.
Yeah,
and
there
now
you
you're
go.
covered, and you're ready
You're
for
covered and you're
for
not
care on top.
embarrassed.
Now at the bottom, look at the flaps. You see how I can go underneath of that myself?
Oh, yes.
And when my mom wore it, she did not have to witness or see anything if she needed some care underneath. So watch, right underneath, the undergarments come off, step in the shower, and look at the flaps. You see how they overlap? You could be in a shower chair,
Well,
you
it's-
could stand, and of course after the undergarments come off and you're ready to go, then you feel covered. And then when it's time to dry off, the same thing, I have pieces that go with it, and this really makes a difference.
Do they put that on afterwards?
Yes, you have to remember, everything that you do with this is cover, then remove. That's all you have to remember. Cover, then remove.
And it's very easy to cover
Yes, so you
with.
cover with a terry cloth version, and then you remove the wet garment right underneath, and then the terry cloth dries your skin. So the bra can come right back on, and there you are. You don't have to worry about being exposed. And the same thing with the bottom garment. You don't need 3 flaps with this one. It's also good for bed baths, by the way.
There you go.
But look, you just put it right over the wet garment, right? And then...
Very colorful.
Yes, and then when you pull this off, look how simple. Now the terry cloth dries you.
Yeah, you've preserved someone's dignity.
Yes, and
in
whether
that.
you're sitting, laying down, or standing, the undergarments come right back on under the cover, and you're done.
There you go.
So all so simple, and no fear. It saves time. Can you imagine how many people have said, no, I'm fine. I've already had a shower.
Yeah, that's
I don't
their,
need one. Yeah, the excuses, and I can relate to that too.
You'll find a lot of information in the book, and we do have the website up. Yikes, I need to give Mom a bath. And the title tells it all, but also I wonder how many viewers right now are just identifying
Oh, indeed.
with everything you're saying.
Can I tell you, young people, teens, they're especially sensitive. I was a camp counselor. I brought this with me. And no one wants to change into their swimsuits and get ready to have fun at the lake. And everybody was hiding ordinarily, but when I brought this with me, they loved it. They
Young
changed
girls,
under
yeah.
it. Yes!
I remember, when we started taking showers after gym and all, we were just totally humiliated.
Oh, I was there too, I know.
You brought something out in the book, though, that is so true, and I just have a lot of questions about it that might be answered when we get to heaven, but Adam and Eve knew they were supposed to cover up.
Yes. Yes.
That
It's inside of us.
instinct, that God-given modesty.
He covers us.
Uh-huh.
He covers us in so many ways. But yeah, it's important.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know. I mean, Paul talked about it too, like the body parts. The body part that doesn't seem to get much honor deserves the highest honor. The most honor.
I know who does this well from experience. They might not have your product, but my wonderful brother-in-law had Parkinson's, and they brought a caregiver in from time to time, of course hospice toward the end,
Yes.
and they were very respectful, very, very much so. If you know the Lord, I think you are.
Yes, resourceful.
But we even cover a corpse
Yes.
out of dignity and respect. I want to tell you, friends, all those things are from God. All those things that reduce.
Symbolism, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Are you still learning?
I am.
What do you? I love this one. You said in the hospital, there is a given routine in hospitals to preserve the dignity of the patient. I see you.
Yeah, we
It's
know
really
what that
I see you. That's awful.
It's true. A
It's
nurse
so
told me
true.
that. Yes, and she told me another secret too. She said when the doctors are the patients, they're the worst. They will
I'll bet
not
they
give
are.
up that towel. No.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, I tell you.
What kind of testimonies do you get?
Oh my goodness. Well, I get so much gratitude and relief, and that they're just happy to find it. I think it's almost like this. Before the car was invented, nobody would search for the car. Well, with the Honor Guard, not many people know about it, so they don't know how to search. But there are some that will say, what could help with embarrassment? How can I preserve my dignity? And then our site comes up and they say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And so we rush those garments out to them as fast as we can. They order them, and it makes a difference for them. A lot of good feedback, and it does my heart good. I was there, I know that feeling. I know the feeling very well, of being relieved that my mom could feel dignified and not have to worry. It's a tough one to have change come. I mean, even when she was in the hospital for a short time where she needed some care, I instructed the nurses and said, this is what we have. And do you know that they forgot? So when it came back in, what a difference her mood was and her demeanor, and she was very, very upset. And I had to show them how, and of course, from then on, I made sure I was there for that event. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one to get used to something new.
Well, I think of the detail of our Heavenly Father, that he would look down on these aging people and would prompt you to do something about it. That's the way He is.
Yes.
And then you can come and we can tell thousands of people
Yes,
about
thank you.
If nothing
Yes.
else, to open up your mind and your heart to what either you will be yourself or you will face with a loved one. For me, it was a total cold turkey experience. And my sister and I went to all these assisted living places. It was like, no, no, no. We went into the Bon Secours here. It was a Catholic organization. My sister and I walked in and said, this is it. And
He brought you there.
they were so... I stood in the back of the chapel, a little tiny chapel, while a nun held a service with about 7 or 8 Alzheimer's patients. And she said, I always use their name twice. And she would get one and said, this is Larry. What is your prayer request? And she said, they'd always say, my family. So she turned to the little audience and say, this is Larry. He wants you to pray for his family.
Oh.
And then they would sing. They would sing, praise him in the morning.
Yes.
It was a Sunday school song.
Yeah.
I stood there with the tears pouring down my face.
It's a blessing.
I thought, this is where Jesus hangs out.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
This is where
true.
He is.
Yeah. But we get the blessings. We do. You do get the blessings. I mean, think about Noah. Remember what happened to him? He got naked.
A lot of things.
Yeah,
Which
got
one?
drunk. Yeah. but the 2 sons, of course, he was exposed there
Yes,
without
yes.
clothes. But his 2 sons walked backwards with a drape,
Right.
and they covered his body.
Respected him.
They got blessed. There's blessing in that. We instinctively knew.
Well, I'm thankful the Lord sent you back because I have a feeling that a lot of viewers, this is the first time that the subject's ever really been addressed, and for them to know, file it back there in file number 13 somewhere, because one day you will probably need it. I hope you've taken advantage of the website. There's a lot of good information there, but also you can get product from there, and anything we can do to make people more comfortable as they age. There's a lot of insecurity, and
They deserve it.
so there's a good way we can help them. I'll never forget when I put that plastic, kind of like a chair you'd sit outside in, I guess, in the shower, how much better it was for my mom. She
Simple
could take a
things,
bath,
yes.
shower's coming on her,
Yes.
and I could step away. And,
Yes, your frustration birthed vision, and it helped her. Yeah.
So I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your book and your product.
Thank you.
And I hope that you will, you might write it down now. You might not need it now, but 20 years from now, you might need it. And it's a very, very important subject. And I want to remind you also that we have prayer partners standing by right now to pray with you. You might be in the middle of really old age, and there's a lot of insecurities and all, but you can pick up that phone and talk to someone, a live person, and they will pray with you. And if you're maybe going through a marriage problem or something, you need someone to talk to. The best person to talk to is someone who knows the Word of God, someone who knows God. And that's the kind of person you will get if you'll call that number on your screen. It's very, very important, because you don't have to go through life alone. It troubles me. Think of so many older, aged people that are all by themselves. I hope that we have prompted and just turned that light on to think about it. And then when you see them, you'll be a little bit more kind, a little bit more patient, okay? Thank you so much for being with us today. We really do appreciate, and please remember those prayer partners standing by. And always remember, my friend, this is for true. There's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.